What's up, you guys? Happy Monday. Hope you have had a fantastic weekend. It is good to be here with you this Monday evening. As always, I always look forward to our live Q&As. Today is going to be a little special, though. Today we are going to be going over something a little different. I know, actually, maybe I should stop saying that because the last couple have been different. And I've tried to shift away from only answering questions that come in to actually giving you some actionable information, whether it's like covering some news, maybe covering a tool or things like that. So today we are going to be covering a tool. So, and maybe not just specifically a tool, but also like concept as a whole. So that specifically is voice AI for phone receptionists. So I think this is going to be interesting for a lot of you. If you have not heard of the use case of using AI to be able to answer phone calls for your business, then I think this is going to be really, really applicable, especially if you are swamped with calls all day and you feel like you can't just go get the things done that you need to get done behind the scenes to keep the business running. So I hope that excites you guys. We're going to get into it in just a minute. So if this is your first time with us here this evening, hi there. My name is Kyle Kurzhal. I am your go-to guy for AI and automations to help you get back your time and grow your business. That is what I am all about. I love helping people, whether they are beginning in the AI and automation space, or whether you are maybe a little bit more seasoned, maybe you've been in business for a while and you are just trying to dial things in. This session is really meant for you to be able to come ask questions from somebody who's been doing automation for over 11 years now. My background is in software engineering. I've worked as a chief technology officer at a startup. I've worked as a principal engineer in a large corporation, and looking at a CTO role right now, actually, for a new company. So that is who I am. That's what my heart is. I'm looking to give back to you guys, looking to answer your questions, help you guys make progress in whatever way you need. And sometimes that's a small thing. You know, it's maybe a standard automation, just a small thing here or there. And sometimes it's something more complex. So with that said, let me add one more thing that you can look forward to. So at the end of these live Q&As, the last several weeks, maybe even months, I have been giving away copies of Alex Hormozi's new book, $100 Million Money Models, and tonight is no exception. So if you would like to win a copy of Alex Hormozi's book, $100 Million Money Models, then you're going to have the opportunity tonight. I'm giving away up to 3 copies. So far, we've given away, I think I've given away like 4, maybe 5 on our live streams so far. And I've given away 2 separately. So I have a total of 50 that I wanted to give away for these public-facing live streams. And then I've got another like 150, a little over 150 that are reserved for people who join our AI Employee Club. And that AI Employee Club, if you join that, you get that shipping included. If you win the giveaway tonight, then you have to pay for the shipping. So, you know, you get $30 off of a nice new book. So hopefully that excites you. If you want a chance to win tonight, here's what you have to do. What you have to do is go fill out this form. I'm going to go ahead and share this link inside of our live stream on YouTube and Facebook tonight. So if you're on YouTube, here is the giveaway link. Go fill out this form with your information. Let me pin this for you guys. And then if you're on Facebook, I'm sharing it here as well. You should see that in the chat or in the comments, however that's coming up on your side. And if you go fill that out, what I'm going to do at the end is do a random drawing. So if you're the only person who put their name in, then you are guaranteed to win, which is awesome. There's up to three copies going away tonight. So 3 people could get a guaranteed copy if you just go put your information in, and we'll see what comes out at the end. I'm excited because tonight will be the first night I'm going to attempt to use my giveaway bot that we've been developing in the AI Employee Club to actually get this thing selecting somebody and then automating the email portion away. So that's exciting for me. Hope you guys are pumped. There's a lot going on this evening. So let's get into it. You know what? I probably should have also said, if, I want to give folks a chance to ask questions, I have been using a form, and I'll go ahead and share this form. I've already put it in, it's already on YouTube. It's already on Facebook. You can find that in the chat. If you want to submit a question, I do see those questions come in live on my side. But I'm going to try to do better looking at the comments on YouTube and Facebook. So if you don't want to fill out a whole form with your question, that's okay. Go put your question inside of the comments, and I will try to periodically check that. Nowadays, well, that's what I get for trying to use a hotkey. My apologies. So nowadays, what I'm trying to do is show my comments side by side, so that way it's a lot easier for me to see everything at the same time. So, and I forgot to actually put that side by side. So let me do that here so that way it is painfully obvious how we can do this. I want to make sure that I don't miss any tonight from you guys. Hope you guys are excited about the voice AI demo this evening. I know for a lot of people that is kind of a foreign thing. And so it's going to be a tool that you can put into your toolbox. Maybe you don't feel like you actually need it for most of what you do day to day, but you may run into a situation where you actually need something to, let's say, answer, I don't know, general questions that are coming in. Or maybe you've got some really common questions that come up over and over again, or you've got a situation where you wish you could just sell some things online without always having to be present. Maybe you want something to be running 24/7 in the back end. Maybe you have a call center set up and you are just absolutely overwhelmed and you need some more capacity. These are all great use cases for the voice AI as a voice AI receptionist. And I think also there's some good application to have it maybe set up as a personal assistant as well. So anyways, that's a lot of use case. There's a lot there that I think you could even get more creative with. So we're going to take a look at some of this tonight. I think with that said, that's enough intro. Let's just go ahead and get right into it. So let me go ahead and share my screen here. So you guys should be able to hear me and see me still, and you should be able to see my screen. So what you guys are seeing is a system that I use in my business day to day. This is full stack coordination. It's in partnership. It's a white label version of Go High Level. So if you've used Go High Level or heard of it, then this is what this is. And there's tons of features built into this. So, you could get lost in all the different things, but it is incredibly handy as a tool if you just need an all-in-one marketing and sales tool for your business, and especially if you're a small business getting started. This is, in my opinion, one of the best tools on the market. You pay typically a flat price for all of the software, and then you pay a little bit extra for some of the additional features that you would normally pay at cost. Like, for example, per minute charges for a phone call. And especially if you've got an AI agent, you're going to pay, per minute for that. If you're doing texting, you're going to pay per text message, right? But the costs on these are very low. So overall, it's going to give you pretty much everything you need, and then some. So that's why I love this tool so much, and why I think it's a good place to kind of start here, because if you just need something to do a lot of different parts of your business, and you're trying to make your dollar stretch the furthest, you can start here, and then you get these awesome features like these AI phone receptionists. So let's take a quick look at this, and I kind of want to show you some of the things that you can do. What I'm going to need to do, I want to make sure that you guys are going to be able to hear my audio. So what I need to do is make sure, unfortunately, this is probably going to mean that you're going to hear all the little pings in the background, but I'm going to try to get the audio coming out of the speakers here, and that'll be the best way to do it, I think. Okay, so when you're in Go High Level, and by the way, if you want Go High Level at some point, I'll talk to you about how you can get it in just a little bit. But let's just kind of show off what you can do here before we get into all that. So when you go into Go High Level, there is a menu option. Typically, I think it might just show up here. Yeah. So there's this little option here on the left-hand side that says AI agents. And so you click that, and then you get a bunch of nice, cool options up here. You get voice AI, you get conversation AI, you get a knowledge base, you get content AI. So that can help you with your social media content. The conversation is like chatbots, and the voice AI is for like phone, like conversations. So we're just going to be looking at the voice AI tonight. You can do inbound calls with this. So something to kind of just note, keep this in the back of your head. Go High Level systems do not currently allow you to do outbound calls. The reason they do this is they have some concerns around the legality of outbound calls, particularly with like cold calls. So legally, you're not really supposed to use AI or any kind of robocalls to do outbound calls if somebody hasn't already opted into your system. Hence, in essence, cold calls, right? So if somebody is opted into your system, like you've got a form set up, they've gone through, they said, yes, I agree, I'm okay to receive, messaging, all this stuff. If you have had that happen, then you're good to go from a legal standpoint. At least that's my understanding. I'm not a lawyer, so don't take that as legal advice, but this is just my cursory understanding of the laws around this. So there's obviously some problems around like cold calls, and so that's why they avoid doing outbound at the moment. I know there's been some discussion about that, so maybe that's something they add in the future. But for now, this is just inbound. So think of this again as like as a phone receptionist. People are calling into your business about all sorts of different things, and then this thing is able to actually go and answer questions, book appointments, do all sorts of cool things. So let's get into it. So when we go into here, we have our list of agents. So you can create a bunch of different types of agents. Now, my whole thing is AI employees and automation. So I want you guys to think of these as individual AI employees, okay? And your job when you create these things is to train them to behave in the way that you want them to behave, right? And the way I like to describe AI to most folks, the way you think about it when you're training these things is think of them as like the world's like undergrad educated toddlers. So what I mean by that is there's a lot of information that these things have, but they don't always know exactly how to use that information properly. And so you can get into some weird use cases. Like today, this is a good example. Today I was working on a chatbot or a set of chatbots, and I wanted to be able to answer a bunch of answer a bunch of questions in general, and then hand off to another chatbot that would be able to go into more depth. And so I did my best there. I need to tweak it some more though, because the way I structured it, it couldn't figure out when to properly hand off. And so it would sometimes hand off to this thing, and then it would get handed back, and it would be all over the place, and then never really be able to follow the instructions the way I wanted it to. And it was just, the flow was awful, it would be an awful customer experience. So you have to kind of be able to dial in what it is that you want it to do. And some of that is going to be some trial and error. So keep that in mind as you're kind of working with these things. Hopefully that gives you a good sense of what we're about to get into. So when you first, let's actually just create one from scratch. So when you create an agent, you come up here, you create an agent, and then it's going to like ask you all this information. You're going to give it a name. So this is going to be the name that's going to appear on that screen we just saw. So let's say this is going to be, I don't know, like plumbing business receptionist. Okay, so that's our name for it. We can choose a language. This is cool because that means that you can support multiple languages. They have one that can do both English and Spanish. So I think for a lot of people, this is probably going to be really relevant, especially if you're in the US. I am not a native Spanish speaker. I know some words, so I would not be able to evaluate this well. But if you are bilingual, this will be a great resource for you. Now, here we can actually choose our voice. And so there are so many options. We can choose our primary language. We can choose the accent, like American, British, Scottish, whatever. We can choose male or female voices. We can search by particular names. Let me see if I can play this so you guys can actually kind of hear a sample.
It wasn't the storm that changed her. It was the quiet afterward, the stillness where she finally met herself. It wasn't the storm that changed. Okay. Hopefully you guys were able to hear that pretty well. I could see the mic moving around there. So that's one example. This is the one that's default. Hey, Worldly 11 Labs friends, let's talk. Let's have a conversation about anything. My name's Jessica, and I'm looking.
Okay, so that obviously is from 11 Labs, which is really cool. 11 Labs is a service that does these AI voices. Let's narrow it down. I want American voices specifically because I am in America. So let's say Christopher. Let's see what Christopher sounds like.
Chris McGuire here from Chicago. I turn complex ideas into clear, engaging stories, a voice for many situations. Let's bring your
Okay, so that's pretty good too. Looks like we can also filter by high quality only. So I could say, I want only those things, and then that filters out a bunch of them, which is really nice. So I'm cool with using Jessica for our example. So I'm just going to save Jessica's voice here. And then I get to select my time zone. So this is going to be the primary time zone for the agent or for the AI employee. And then down here we have our initial message. So you can say, oh, hey, you've reached this business. How can I help you today? You can do all sorts of other things in here. If you've got this person in your contacts, you can even be like, hey, let's say, hey, contact, and then we'll say first name. You have reached Navigator. How can I help you today? Now that's not going to work if they're not already in your system. That'll be a little weird. We can give that a try and see if, I'm not going to be calling with the phone. I'll be sampling it through the computer, but we could just leave that there and just kind of see what happens. There's all sorts of other information we can pull in. You just have to be kind of careful with how big your message is down here. Okay, so we hit next, and then we have our agent goals. And so if you are just like trying to look for the simplest setup, then this would be all you do. You can say, hey, I want this kind of information from my contact, name, email address, contacts issue, blah, blah, blah. If you want email notifications, all that stuff. And then you can pull in these like knowledge bases, which is kind of cool. This is a way for you to aggregate information into a single place, and then you can pull that information into as many of these AI employees as you want. So that is a really powerful tool. We probably are not going to get to that today, but this is kind of the general setup. Now, this is kind of where I diverge, because I want to have some really nice fine-tuned control for whatever solution that I'm working with. So I'm always going to choose advanced mode, and we're going to take a look here. So in advanced mode, we get this knowledge base access like before, but then we have this big prompt here. And this prompt kind of gives you a sense of what kinds of things you can specify, right? Now, you've got these sections like agent's role and objective, handling the caller queries, logic and rules, any other general rules, structured call flow script, so on and so forth. You could definitely use that. And if you're just getting started, this would be a good place. You just come in here, delete what you don't need, and then add what you do need. I'm going to take this a step farther because that's what I like to do. And I have a tool that I built to help me with this. So we have these actions that we can choose. Like we can transfer calls, we can trigger our automated workflows, we can send text messages, update our contact fields, we can actually book appointments, and then we can make custom action calls to other services. So this would be like if you've got a CRM somewhere else, you've got some other system somewhere else, and you need to interact with it in some way. You can get data from it, or you can send information out of this system into it. So that kind of gives you a sense of the capabilities here. Now, I'm going to turn off this receive emails for every time this is completed, because I don't want to get emails all over the place. And let me go ahead and hit next. So then it's going to ask us if we want a phone number. I don't really want that, so we're just going to save that. You will notice, let's go into that plumbing business. You will notice, by the way, that it'll tell you what the price per minute is going to be for you. And so you could get a sense of how expensive this is going to be. But, you know, about 13, 14 cents a minute is not bad, right? And remember, you're only going to be charged for the time that this is being used. So if you are kind of sampling this for the first time, you could, let's say you spin up Go High Level and you come in here and you start working with it. You can expect to pay about $2 to $3 a month for a single phone number. And then you probably will have to load in like a minimum of $10 to your account just up front. But then, you know, this amount is going to be pulled from the wallet amount that you load in. So that's not a bad amount of money to just kind of get started, try some things out, and see if you even like it. So now, one more thing here, which is kind of cool. You have dashboards and logs, so you can view the performance of your AI receptionist over time. So this is going to be really handy for you as you're evaluating. Now, let's get into our agent goal. Let's kind of start messing with this. Now, let's say I want to modify this. I have a tool that I like to use for this stuff. Let me go find it here, because it makes this a lot easier for me to be able to get started and to kind of move things along. So I'm going to pull this up. Okay, and let me... All right, so what I like to do, is doing weird stuff. Give me a second here. This is what I get for being on a Mac. All right. So you guys should be able to see this now. So this is a custom GPT that I put together. I call it the Call Script Crafter. And what this does is it helps me write my scripts. So let me start out. I'm trying to write a script for a general Q&A AI phone receptionist for my plumbing business. And then I might give it a little bit more information, like we're generally open between the hours of 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Central Time. Let's see what else. We typically charge by the hour. We'll say $200 per hour. What else? And the appointment slots are first come, first served. Okay, so I put this into my custom GPT, and then it's gonna create my script here for me. Now, in my case, I've got mine customized to put it in this format called Markdown. It's just a good text format, generally speaking, that can be rendered to something that looks a little nicer. And in the case of AI, it's really, really helpful for them to be able to understand what's going on. So what I'm going to do is just kind of glance through this. If I'm happy with this, then what we'll do is we'll put this into our prompt and we'll just give it a try. So we've got our business name, our needs, request for service quote, confirm rates, availability, ask for emergency response, schedule or reschedule an appointment, handle initial inquiries, provide clear rate and availability info, Piper, virtual receptionist. Okay, we've got all of our information here. Okay, how can I help you today? Wait for, okay, and if. Get collecting their information, service inquiry flow, all of this. Okay, generally this looks good. We don't have a ton of time, so I want to just kind of be able to show you what this thing is capable of. So let's put this in here. And then we're going to save it. And then I want to do like a web call. So let's go ahead and give this a shot to see how well this works. I haven't done the web call before, so we'll see. We'll see. All right.
Hey, Kyle, you have reached Narrow Gator. How can I help you today?
Hey there. I'm having an issue with my sink. There seems to be a leak, and I really need some help ASAP.
Oh no, a leak can be stressful. Let's get this sorted for you. Can I grab your name and the best phone number to reach you? That way I can check availability for a technician right away.
Yes. My name is Kyle. First name's Kyle, Kyle, Last name is Kurzhal, Kurzhal.
Thanks, Kyle. Got it. Kyle Kurzhal. And what's the best phone number to reach you at?
I'd like to tell you that a little bit later. I've got some people listening right now, and I'm not sure I want to give out my personal number.
Totally understand, Kyle. No worries at all. How about I check our availability for you first, and we can circle back to your contact info when you're ready. Does that work?
Yeah, that sounds great.
All right, let me check our next available slot for you. Could you tell me a bit more about the leak? For example, is it coming from a faucet, pipe, or something else?
It's coming from the faucet.
Got it, a faucet leak. Thanks for sharing that. Let me check our schedule for the next available appointment. One moment. Since we're currently closed for the day, I can arrange for our team to call you first thing tomorrow morning after 9 a.m. Central to get this booked. Does that work for you?
Yeah, that works great.
Perfect. I'll make sure our team reaches out to you tomorrow morning after 9 a.m. Central to get everything scheduled. Is there anything else I can help you with right now?
No, that's going to be it. Thank you.
You're welcome, Kyle. Thanks for reaching out to us at Narrow Gator. We'll take care of that faucet leak for you. Have a great evening.
All right. So that was pretty darn good. And I was a little surprised at how well it was. I actually didn't think right out of the gate it was going to be able to pull in the time, but it sounds like it realized that right now, so my time, Central Time, and this system is configured for Central Time. So I said, if you remember in the instructions, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Central Time, and this was not, it detected that we're past that. So that was kind of cool. You could configure your system to be able to book calls at any time, and you'd have to just specify that. So it probably noticed, it probably did that because I had provide business hours early in the conversation. So we could probably mention that and just say, hey, you know, like, we don't want you to not book up an appointment. We want you to go ahead and book whenever that somebody comes in. So that kind of gives you a sense of how decent it was. The voice sounded, this one sounded a little bit more robotic, and we could probably go find other voices that sound a little bit better. But hopefully that gives you a sense of how conversational it is. Now, if you wanted it to be able to actually really book times in your calendar, you can create inside of Go High Level these little calendars, similar to like Calendly or, you know, Google Calendar or whatever, and then hook that calendar up to your AI. The other cool thing about High Level is that you can connect your personal calendars to it, so it can detect like if you have conflicts and things like that. So it's a really good way to kind of integrate everything together into the stuff you're using day to day. Now, if I wanted to, you know, book actual times, I would use this appointment booking option. And then I would like come in here and I would say, oh, I want to use a particular, you know, maybe it's a 30-minute meeting, days of offering dates. Let's see here. Set the number of consecutive days for an agent to suggest dates, appointment slots per day, how many it's going to offer, gap between, so about 3 hours roughly. So that kind of gives you a generalized sense of how it works. And then you would just hit save and go from there. And most of the other actions are very similar. You can set up certain ones to like activate during the call and certain ones to activate after the call. So that's pretty powerful. And it's going to be able to actually book those appointments on my calendar. I think we're running out of time here. We're at the end of our time, so I don't really have a ton of time to show you this. But if this piqued your interest and you really could see yourself using something like this for your business, then I've got a good option here for you. If you want to use the same system that I'm using, I've got a link that I can give to you. It'll give you a 7-day trial. You can go try this out. You could also go direct to Go High Level if you want. That's fine. The pricing is going to be about the same in either case. But I know the guy running the white label that I'm using is pretty good. So he's got a tech background like myself. So he's been really helpful overall. So let me grab that link for you guys. Let me also, before I do that, I want to see if folks have any questions here in our comments. Let me see here. Okay, I'm not seeing any questions in our comments. Let me see if we've got any questions in our spreadsheet. Okay, no questions in either of those places. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to grab the link, the sign up link for you guys, if that's something that you want. Where is that link? I think I've got it in my description on one of these videos. No, I don't. All right, give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to go grab this from our AI community. So you can use this link. There you go, YouTube. That's the link for the, well, maybe I should probably say what that is. This is the GHL system sign up. Okay, and then for you folks over in Facebook, so here's the link for that if you just want to go direct to it. Now, if you really enjoyed this, but you feel like you need a little bit more guidance on actually learning more about how to set these things up, if you want access to be able to have that call script crafter GPT that I put together, if you want all of that stuff, I actually did a live 1-day challenge where we, in under 6 hours, took somebody who had never touched this stuff before, and actually 2 people that had never touched this stuff before, and I showed them how to, from scratch, set up an AI agent similar to what I showed you here, but we got even more advanced, and we showed them how to set up a whole IVR system with multiple agents. So think like, when I say IVR, think like you call in and you get press 1 for sales, press 2 for billing, those kinds of things. And then it would take you to the right agent, the AI employee, based on the option that you chose. And I've done that for a client. So I taught them how to do it the exact same way. So if that is something that you think would be really helpful for you to kind of get going, you can find the link. I'm going to go ahead and post this in our chat in YouTube and then in Facebook here. So that will give you access to the 1-day challenge. This is kind of what it's going to look like when you click the link. It's going to take you straight to the course page. So you'll see this here. You'll be able to go in. You'll be able to see one of the testimonials from one of the people who were there. There's one more I actually still need to add, but this is Rebecca. She was the one who kind of walked through the system, and we just had a really good time. So you can get that here. You can go sign up, and you'll get immediate access to that course. Now, if you want a little bit more than that course, I'll tell you about how to get this plus some extra value in just a minute. Before I do, I want to go ahead and honor my word, because I said, we're at the end of our time, and I want to make sure that we give away copies of Alex Hormozi's book like I promised I would. So what we're going to do is we're going to use my new AI that I it's an AI combined with a tool that I created. And we did this together inside of the AI Employee Club. So I'll get to that in a minute. So what we're going to do is go over to our little bot here. And let me make sure I've got the tool selected properly. Okay. Yep, we've got it. Our N8N giveaway service. So we are going to go ahead and select our winner for the evening. Please give us the name. Well, we want to get a new giveaway winner for the evening. Please select the winner and announce. I'm misspelling announce. Announce the name here. So we're going to go ahead and do this. This is going to run in the background. If you haven't filled that out, go into the chat in Facebook and YouTube and fill that out, because I'm going to hit this button in just a second, and you will have no time left because it is pretty fast. So I will talk for just a minute more while you go fill that out. Again, that is in the chat in YouTube. It's already pinned at the top. And then if you're looking on Facebook, it's one of the, I think it's like the second one that got posted. It says giveaway link hyphen, and then link.narrowgator.com. Now, there is a lot more that we could have covered in this session on the voice AI. There is definitely a lot more that we could go in depth. Like I said, I cover a lot of that inside of the course. But there are going to be some people who go through a course and then they need a lot more help going forward. And so for that, we have an option for folks called the AI Employee Club. That is where we do our extended live Q&As. So once this is done here, we go a little longer in the AI Employee Club. If you got more questions, you want to be able to get into depth on something particular in your business, it doesn't have to just be the phone receptionist. It could be a lot of things. That is your time to ask those questions. And then if nobody has questions, we just build things. We go through and we add things. And that's where this is coming from. We built this tool to help integrate. It's actually integrated into my Go High Level system to help me figure out like what random winner is going to get the book today. So with that said, I want to go ahead and kick this off. We are going to go ahead and see if we have any winners. I don't know. Again, we are giving away up to 3 copies. So if you put your name in for the evening, then you have a chance to win, which is awesome. All right. We're going to just go ahead and hit the go button and let's see who pops out. We might not have any winners tonight. I don't know. It's thinking. I will always allow it. Oh no, it's broken. Well, it was working last time. I may have to just go in and manually get away. Oh, it's because I gave it the wrong code. Today is a different code. Although that might not be the issue. It may be something else. I may have to go diagnose it. We might have to try this again next week. We still are going to give away. We're going to still do our giveaway, but I would really, really like to be able to use our code. So let's say this. Oh, did I click the? There we go. Our new code for the evening is this. Oh no. Let me see if I can do a quick diagnose, you guys. This is one of those things. It's like, you do your best, and sometimes things don't work out the way that you had hoped. So let's see if I got let's see if we got some errors that we can figure out very, very quickly. So this is a lot of the same type of stuff that you'd be able to see in more depth, like me building these things out if you were in the AI Employee Club. We kind of go through and show. Interesting. So it did succeed. I think this is going to have to be one of those things that I'm going to have to investigate inside of the AI Employee Club, because I don't really want to bog down people's time here, which is fine. So let me just go over to this screen. And while I'm doing that, while I'm looking for the giveaway, you guys can get reminders for our future Q&As if you want. If you want to join the AI Employee Club, you can scan the QR code there. I've got links in the descriptions everywhere. I'll share it in a minute as well. Let's go to our forums and find our winners here. Thank you guys for bearing with me. Sometimes things just don't go like you expect them to live. For a lot of you guys, this was a good chance to get in some extra time. All right. So I'm looking at our submissions, and I have no new submissions for this evening, which means that there are no books going out tonight, unfortunately, which makes me sad. But that means that next week, we're not only going to give away 3 copies, we're going to give away up to 4 copies. And so if you are here this evening and you were like, man, I came in too late, I didn't get a copy, guess what? You can come back next week, and I'm giving away up to 4 copies now. And if you bring a friend and your friend puts your name into the form when they fill it out, your friend's going to get an entry and you're going to get an extra entry too. So how about that? We're going to be giving away 4 next week. So bring your friends. I got to give these away. I would prefer to do it on the live stream. Otherwise, Alex is going to take those books and he's just going to give them away to people he knows. And so I would rather you guys get them. All right, y'all. We're going to bring this to a close. So we went over the voice AI today. I think that's going to be really helpful for a lot of you guys who are busy in your business day to day, and maybe you just want some relief on the phones. Again, the features of this, they answer 24/7. You are only charged per minute that it's talking. So if it isn't working, you're not paying. You can, I believe the limitations on this were up to 200 simultaneous calls for a single agent. So one of those agents that we looked at tonight, it can handle 200 calls for you at the same time. You would not be able to onboard enough employees as a typical small business to be able to handle 200 simultaneous calls. There's no way. So with all of those factors, the fact that it can be multilingual, you can customize it. It's going to behave in about the same way that you tell it to every single time. This functionality is you might be frustrated with some bits here and there, but it's already pretty darn good. And today is the worst it's ever going to get. It's just going to keep getting better and better and better. A couple of months ago, the latency on these things was bad enough to be like, I don't know if I really want this. No, the latency nowadays is super low. It's like talking with a real person. The conversation is smoother like a real person. It can collect data for you and put it into your CRM automatically. It can book calls for you. It can transfer calls. You can have all this stuff recorded and then transcribed. So you can do follow-ups with that data. You kick off additional automated workflows with it. You could send text messages with it. If you wanted to send a booking link instead of directly booking, you could do that. The sky's the limit with this stuff. And it's really, really impressive. So for you guys, if you are looking for ways to free up your time, this is a fantastic way to do it. Now, if you are somebody who's like, wow, I really love this. I want to use it. Again, there's a couple of options for you. So one option is you could just do the thing yourself. And I shared some links earlier in the chat with you, the links to the Go High Level system itself. So you can sign up, you can get in there today and start playing around with it. You get a 7-day trial. If you want more information to learn how to do it, similar to how I've done it with like one of my clients, we did a 6-hour training, and that is available as a course. And so you can go click the link in the comments again on or in the chat on YouTube and Facebook, and you can get access to that course. When you do that, you also get access to the Call Crafter script to be able to help write your scripts a little bit easier. And then that's all the do-it-yourself solutions. If you want a done-with-you solution, we have the AI Employee Club. And you can come in here, you get extended live Q&As, you get, chat support, you get access to other internal resources, and one of those resources includes the course. So yes, I sell the course separately as a one-time fee, but I also have that course available for our community members. The price of the AI Employee Club is $97 a month. So technically you could get the course cheaper if you go into the AI Employee Club, and then you get the extra help from the live sessions. And I do that because I really want to provide a lot of value for folks. I would prefer folks to go to that solution so you can get ongoing help. So that's the do-it-yourself solution, the done-with-you solution. And then the last option I have for you is if you are just like, wow, I really want this, I have no time to do this myself, then we can do it for you. We can go in, you can be one of my clients. I go in, I set these things up to however you need it to be set up. And we can go back and forth and get it configured just right for your business. So if that's a solution that you need, then you can go to voiceai.narrowgator.com. I believe I have that in the description for a lot of this stuff, but I'm just going to type this out here. Inside of our chats. That's the done for you solution. And so you can go in there and you can sign up for that. We go through, we kind of get a sense of what you need, and then we implement it. So those are your options. Hopefully that gets you guys where you need to go. I'm doing my best to provide you guys the most value. I hope you guys enjoyed this evening going over this stuff. I hope it opened up your eyes and expanded your horizons on some of this stuff. Always happy to answer questions. Before I head off for the night, I want to see if anybody had anything that they put into the chat, because I want to make sure I get a chance to answer folks' questions that they have any. And I'm not seeing any here. So I think we're going to go ahead and end it here. We went 30 minutes over. Thank you guys for being here. It was a blast. Now we're going to head over into our AI Employee Club. I'll see you guys over there. For the rest of you, hope you have a wonderful evening. Take it easy.